All right, everyone. As per my opening, I'd like to welcome Kathy Obad to the show. I really appreciate you coming down, taking some time. I know you are extremely busy. We were just talking actually before this about how busy you and your company have been. You were with CFIB, Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses. It's crazy the amount of members. I was actually doing some research on you and your organization. 110,000 members, 48 years in business. 40,000 calls answered yearly. So it's unbelievable what you guys do for the small business organizations. And I'm excited to have you on because your world has been probably the most impacted, which we'll get to. So thank you for joining me and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's absolutely my pleasure. I'm so excited to connect with you and talk, and I love the opportunity to do this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we actually connected, I think, like a lot of people lately through LinkedIn. And
Yes.
We've had some discussions just about your organization in the past. So it was great to connect back with you and get you on. Maybe tell the audience a little bit about your background, where you joined CFIB and how it's all kind of grown from when you joined.
How it's become a full circle. You know what? Yeah. It has most definitely been an interesting journey for me. I would have never in a million years ever have guessed that I would have been working for a lobby group that defends independent business. My background is art, and I studied fashion design. I eventually became a buyer. I had 650 stores across Canada, and I was a knitwear buyer for them. It was, at the time, my dream job. I loved it. I got to travel all over the world, hitting New York on a regular basis, at least a few times a month to meet with my members. It was my dream, and I really did love it. But once I had my third child, it became a very hectic lifestyle, one that I wasn't enjoying anymore. I felt like I was missing those milestone moments. I was out of the country more than I was in the country, and I decided at that time, it's enough. I'm going to take a hiatus, and I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to be there for my kids and help raise them, because I wasn't really active with that. So it's exactly what I did. My superiors at the time told me I was absolutely crazy, said that where I built myself up in my career, walking away from it was a big mistake. I didn't agree. And until this day, I think that it was the best thing I had ever done and had the opportunity to do. But eventually the kids, they gained some of their independence back. And I started to yearn for something a little bit more. I needed a little more purpose in my life. And at the time, my brother, Danny Pahar, started to open his own independent business. So I started to help him out part-time, helped him lift up his company. I was doing all the artwork for his website. And slowly, I got some HR chores pushed my way, and I had no idea about compliances and policies. I had no HR experience. Luckily, at the time, my sister Anna Granick had worked for CFIB, and she offered me the business resources helpline number. So I started calling on a regular basis. My brother became a CFIB member. The counselor that was helping me, man, it went above and beyond and really gave us a platform where we could succeed. It was where I fell in love with the organization and its cause and its purpose. And once my kids went to school full time, I now had time to onboard something full time, and I wanted to help CFIB expand. And at that time, I joined the team.
So what's the core purpose for CFIB?
The core purpose, we do have 3 levels of value that we offer to everybody. And the core purpose is, as independent business owners, we create most of the jobs. We're fragmented though. We create most of the jobs. We pay most of the taxes. There's nobody who's going to disagree with that. From about 60 to 80% of the jobs are created by independent business owners, but we're fragmented when it comes to the very rules and regulations that affect us. So why we came together was to have that clout and that pushback with the rules and the regulations that affect us. We have 3 levels of value. First and foremost, a united voice with the government. In addition to that, we do take our strength in number base and we negotiate with all essential business services to make sure that you're getting the best rates with whatever you're doing. If you have payroll, if you have processing credit cards, insurance, health, all those things. And then we also have our third level of value, which is business resources. It includes HR, but it's not limited to any business questions you have, whether it's CRA issues with them or you're getting audited, if you're trying to avoid termination exposure, any guidance that you might need, we are there for you, unlimited access to. So that is the purpose of CFIB, is to have that united voice for independent business owners.
It's pretty impressive, actually, your organization, because I know that it could be a very difficult decision to go into your own entrepreneurial way and finding all the loopholes, finding out all the information, putting it all together. It's actually very daunting. I can only imagine. And I mean, an organization yourself is really, that's what you're there for, to help out. So when we talk about small businesses, we're really talking about, well, not always bricks and mortar, but right now, especially with the COVID, small businesses have been the hot topic because of the impact towards that industry and that market. Talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing, what you're hearing. You've just told me before we started the podcast how busy you have been over the last 8-9 weeks, probably busier now more than ever. What exactly is happening with the small business industry right now? And what are you seeing and hearing coming out of COVID for these particular companies?
You know what? There's been two massive components. One, for sure, is relief measures. And second is the constant change in information that business owners need. So first and foremost, I am absolutely proud of the work that CFIB has done, heavily influencing relief measures in this country. As needs arise, we made sure that independent business owners' voices were being heard. It was amazing, from such victories as wage subsidy going from 10% to 75%. That is remarkable. But we don't stop. We keep making sure that they can hear. When a government comes out with a program like the Canadian Emergency Business Account saying that everybody has access to the loan, well, guess what? Not everybody does. Yeah. Where there's so many rules and restrictions that doesn't allow all business owners to access that loan. So we are that pushback. We collect information, who can't access those loans, and we go back to the government and let them know we still need this. Our voices aren't being heard. Like the Canadian Emergency Rent Assisted Program, that one, not all landlords are using. Not all landlords want to go into the program. So we want to make sure that business owners, tenants, have a direct line for help on that front. So that's definitely a huge way CFIB has been helping. We've been heavily influencing relief measures. But in addition to that, I think one of the greatest challenges for business owners was staying on top of the information that was constantly changing as the situation evolved. Rules and regulations were constantly changing, and what was expected from business owners. So, and you know what? Questions are so specific because not every business is exactly the same. And it's hard for them to find that information. CFIB has a business resource department. And typically, pre-COVID, we were handling 50 calls a day. Since COVID, the influx has been 1,000 calls a day. But we wanted to make sure our business owners had someone directly to speak to guide them and to help them and give them the information that they needed to stay afloat. So all of our employees, we all rolled up our sleeves and we all took on those calls, which is really incredible to see how we came together to help each other help other people. So it was remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, could you have even anticipated that type of influx from 50 to 1,000?
No.
How do you even prepare for that?
You know what? The crisis was definitely nothing any of us could have. And and as we're at the beginning of the end and businesses are starting to open, our needs are going to change, and we are going to be on top of that, and we will adapt so we can make sure our businesses can succeed. And so you're right. You can't plan for 50 to 1,000 like that constantly. No. And the need was there, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. So you guys have 110,000 members, which is actually unbelievable. What do you, obviously you're doing something great, but what are you guys doing now moving forward? How is new customer acquisition going to be coming out of COVID for you and your organization?
So definitely, for me, and when I meet with business owners personally, we have businesses in every sector, across every province, across Canada. Most importantly is we need to listen. We need to listen. I need to listen. When I sit down in front of a business owner, I want to hear what their challenges are, what their obstacles are. That way I can customize CFIB to help them best. It's communicating that. Definitely one of the needs as business owners are now opening up their doors is how to exactly do that. What posters are mandated? How do you recall employees? What happens if your employees don't want to go back? So we are together in this every step of the way, and we have a back to business kit that we are here to help them reopen, and as their needs be and arise, definitely it's listening to what they have to say, and working together to help them have a platform where they can succeed.
A lot of content lately. I've put it out myself. I've done podcasts on it, on that famous word empathy. So it sounds like that's exactly what you guys are, the approach you're taking is an empathetic
Absolutely.
approach.
Absolutely. You know, the saying we're in this together really is exactly that. We couldn't prepare for it, but we can build. We can build now and we can move forward. And that's what we are definitely helping with.
Yeah, it's crazy. Relationships. That's what the whole BizBite concept kind of came from, is relationships and business and leadership and work. And how important is relationships for you and your clients? How do you guys approach and maintain with 110,000 members? How do you maintain relationships, and how important are they really for CFIB?
Oh, it's incredibly important. And yes, it is absolutely critical to stay connected. And we do, but our members absolutely are in control of this. They can stay in contact with us as much or as little as they so choose or as they need. At minimum, us district managers meet with business owners annually at their place of business to give them an update on advocacy, on our new savings programs that we acquired over the year, and any new compliances that are mandated in their province. So that's once a year. In addition to that, our members are able to call our business resource department as often as they need, or their district managers. They can reach out. So the communication, they're really in the driver's seat, depending on what their needs are. In addition to that, we do have a program called the Mandate Package, which gives our members a direct line of communication with the government. So every 3 months, we mail out a mandate package that has to do with any new draft, any new regulations, any new taxes, anything new that is effective of independent businesses. So our business owners at the time, they can vote. We give them the pros and the cons to help them with that. They can add any comments to their MPs and our premier. They mail it back to us. We collect that data, and that's what we present to all government officials that are in positions of making rules and legislation. And so the government will know exactly what our business owners' needs are.
Awesome. That's relationships and small businesses right now with all their partners are going to be critical. We talk about new customer acquisition, we talk about empathy, we talk about that whole thing, but with small businesses specifically, you wonder just who's going to come out of this well. But it sounds like you guys are really prepared, a lot of your clients, and you guys are ready to go to get out of this and support the small business community. And I'm really excited that you came on. Where we always wrap up with some rapid fire questions. Before I get to those, where can they get in touch with you, Kathy? Where is the best source to find the information about CFIB?
Excellent question. So they can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Absolutely. It's
Yep.
Kathy with a K, Obad, and I would be more than happy to connect with them. They can log on to our website at www.cfib.ca, or everyone's welcome to email me directly. It's kathy.obad@cfib.ca. So I'd be happy to connect on with anyone who wants to discuss or needs any business advice, absolutely, I would love to do that.
Perfect. And I'm going to have those in the show notes too, so they'll be all there.
Perfect.
All right, 3 questions, rapid fire. Here we go. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of isolation?
First thing. Okay, so you know what? It was being in isolation that I realized I really, really love non-essential business. And I'm going to get out there and I'm going to support our local business owners. I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to get my nails done, getting a massage, all of it, all of that. So ready for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm due for the haircut. That's for sure. I can't wait.
That's so funny. I think I've been hearing that from all men.
Oh,
all men have that shaggy thing going.
it's brutal. And my hairdresser's in the mall, so I'm really in trouble.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta wait a while.
Yeah, that's gonna be some time for sure.
Yeah. If somebody were to rate a book about you, what would they title it?
You know what? That's a really good question. What I think it would be forever changing, forever growing, forever learning, and perhaps a trilogy of some kind, because it's going to be long. It's going to be long.
Awesome. Last, if you can give your 20-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
You know, ironically enough, the advice I would give myself at 20 is still the same advice I need to remind myself on a regular basis, because we're all just human and sometimes we forget. But I feel that life is a journey. It's not a destination. Don't get fixated on the mistakes that we make. They're there to teach you a lesson that you need to look forward to the small things in life. Embrace it, enjoy it, and just, there's a bigger picture. Don't sweat the small things.
Amazing. I would sincerely like to thank you. I know you mentioned this is your first podcast, so congratulations. Yes. You did amazing, and thank you so much. I know you're extremely busy, so I do really appreciate you coming on and telling the whole crew and all the audience about who you are and where you're from, and I wish you the best of luck and the most success.
Likewise, absolutely. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for organizing this. It's been a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Good, excellent. Well, you can come on anytime.
Perfect, good. Have a great day.
You as well.